The top trains that Lionel needs to bring back ASAP, coming up right now on Eric's Trains. All right, so it is December 2023, and the Lionel 2024 Volume 1 catalog is just around the corner. I believe it's going to be released sometime in January of 2024. And so I thought it might be a good time to sort of put together a list of what I think are the top trains that have been absent from Lionel catalogs for far too long and need to be brought back. Now, the only qualification for being on this list is that the item has to have been absent from Lionel catalogs for at least 10 years. So basically anything prior to 2014 is fair game. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because anything made in the last 10 years, and really quite honestly probably 10 to 12, you can be pretty sure they're going to bring it back, especially if it's something popular like Nickel Plate Road 765 or N&W 611 or the Challenger or the Polar Express Berkshire, stuff like that. They will do it again. You just have to wait it out. But when an item's been absent from the catalog for 10, 15, 20 plus years, you start to wonder why. Now, I don't work at Lionel, of course, so I will never know the real reasons, but I would imagine there's a variety of factors that can come into play. It could be that maybe the tooling got damaged, or maybe the tooling was lost. That can happen. Maybe they no longer own the tooling anymore. It could be that there's some expense needed to upgrade the tooling to add modern tech and features, and they just don't want to spend the money on it yet. Or it could simply be they haven't gotten around to it, or it could be that it's not a very popular locomotive, and so they don't think it'll sell very well, because let's face it, popular trains sell more than less popular trains. But if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I love obscure trains, and that's why there are definitely a few obscure items on this list. Anyway, let's get to the list, and I've got my notes to help me out because there was a lot of information to memorize here. Now, I could have easily done 20 or 30 items for Lionel to bring back, but that would take a long time, and so I narrowed it down to the top 11 trains that I want Lionel to bring back. Why 11 and not 10? Well, because 11's one better than 10. Anyway, coming in at number 11 is the Vision Line 700E, last offered in 2010. Now, I put this at number 11 because I am almost 100% positive that Lionel will bring this back, and if I had to guess, they'll bring it back in 2025 to celebrate Lionel's 125th anniversary, mainly because of the 700E's importance in the long history of Lionel. And hopefully they'll do some cool paint schemes, maybe some fantasy paint schemes. If they do, I will definitely order one, and maybe we'll get lucky and they'll even do a superset. Number 10 is a bit odd, and I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with me on it, but it is the Lionel G-Gauge Holiday Tradition Express Set, model number 7-11000, last offered in 2008. This was just a super fun Christmas set that you could put around the Christmas tree. I've actually got one of these, so I don't need it. I just think it would be really cool if they offered it again because it's got so much play value on it. I mean, it's G-Gauge, it's nice and big, it fits easily around the Christmas tree, it's rugged, it's not going to break very easily, and yet it's got all sorts of animation going on. There's a Santa and there's some elves. There's an add-on Calliope car that has some animation and some sound. So it is just such a fun set, and the fact that it's been absent from the catalog since 2008 just baffles me, and I really hope they bring it back at some point. Coming in at number 9, another odd one, the DeWitt Clinton Steam Passenger Set, last offered in 2010. This was one of Lionel's fine scale models, like the Lincoln Funeral Train, or more recently, the Transcontinental Railroad set that had the Jupiter and the 119 and the passenger cars, or the beautiful John Bull set that they just did a couple years ago. So it's one of those really fine scale models with no command control or anything. It's not meant to be an everyday runner. It's more meant as a display piece and for occasional running. But all of these fine scale models they've done are absolutely beautiful, and I'd love to see the DeWitt Clinton again. If they offer it again, I will definitely order it. Coming in at number 8, we have the MU commuter cars, last offered in 2000, almost 24 years ago. Where have these things gone? They are so cool. I saw a pair of these at York this year, and I thought, gosh, why hasn't Lionel done these any time in recent history? What's going on? Maybe they lost the tooling or something. But yeah, they're so beautiful. They're little electric cars that run together. They've got pantographs on top. Anybody who's been watching this channel for a while knows that I love electric stuff, even though I don't have catenary on my layout. Maybe I will at some point in the future. But yeah, I'd love to see an updated version of these with legacy and Bluetooth and maybe automated pantographs. That would be so awesome. So yeah, Lionel, I would love to see these at some point in the future, if at all possible. All right, coming in at number 7, we have the Amtrak Bombardier HHP8 Twin Cab Electric Set, last offered in 2010. This thing looks so cool. It kind of reminds me of the Acela. It's got the twin pantographs. Now, when they originally did it, it had manual pantographs, so if they bring it back, it'd be great to have automated pantographs. But yeah, where did this thing go? I would love for Lionel to bring it back, the HHP8 Electric. Coming in at number 6, this was a total surprise for me. I was shocked at how long it's been since Lionel ran this model, and that is the GP38-2. The last time that Lionel ran the GP38-2 was in 2008. Yeah, almost 16 years ago. Can you believe that? I mean, the GP38 is a very popular diesel. Where has it gone to? So yeah, they really need to bring back the GP38. It would sell, I'm sure of it. Coming in at number 5, we've got any, yeah, I'm not picky, any of the scale subway sets. Lionel has not done a scale subway set since 2010, believe it or not. Now, they've done some semi-scale subway sets since then. I think they did a Batman subway set a few years ago. But yeah, no scale subway sets since 2010. They did the R16 in 2010. They did the R30 back in 2009. And they did the R27 back in 2007. So yeah, it's been a long time. I really don't care which one they do. I just want to see a new scale subway set at some point in the near future. I think it'd be great. Coming in at number 4, one of my personal favorites, the BB1/BB3 electric sets, last offered in 2007. Yeah, it's been a long time. Now, earlier this year, I bought one of the original BB1 sets from 2006, and I absolutely love it. It is so gorgeous. It runs great. It sounds great, even for an older TMCC locomotive from 2006. It's got those 2 pantographs on top. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's been absent from the lineup for far too long. Now, I did mention this to Lionel in 2022, and I didn't get a get out of here, and even better, I didn't get a, well, what is the BB1? They knew exactly what it was, and I got the feeling that they are trying to work on it. So hopefully we will see the BB1s and the BB3s return at some point in the near future. I can't wait. Coming in at number 3, we have the scale, not the semi-scale, but the scale Texas Special passenger set, last offered in 2008. An absolutely gorgeous set. Everybody loves this thing. It's a very popular set, and it's been absent from the lineup for far too long. Now, they did do a Neil Young semi-scale version in 2014, and they also did a semi-scale Lion Chief version here in 2023, but they really need to bring back the full scale set. Now, the original passenger cars were extruded aluminum, and Lionel doesn't do the extruded aluminum passenger cars anymore, but they could easily use the modern 21-inch passenger cars, and so there's really no reason that I can think of not to bring this set back. If they do, it'll be a big hit. I know I'll order one, and I'm sure lots of you will too. All right, we're down to number 2, the heavy hitter. So coming in at number 2, we have the T1-4444 duplex, last offered in 2000. Yeah, almost 24 years ago. An absolutely gorgeous locomotive. And interestingly enough, when they first offered it in 2000, they did it in both a 3-rail and a 2-rail version. And that actually might be a clue as to why they haven't brought it back. I'm wondering if because it was made in 2-rail and 3-rail, maybe it was made by a third party for Lionel. I don't know. But yeah, it's been absent for a long time. It definitely needs to come back. If they do, just like the Texas Special, I know it'll be a giant hit and they'll sell a ton of them. All right, so before we get to number 1, I want to put a big thank you out there to Matt Z from the Miniature Models podcast. He helped me do a lot of the research for this list. So thank you, Matt, for your help. If you haven't checked out the Miniature Models podcast, go ahead and check it out. I'll put a link to it in this video. All right, and now here we are at number 1, the number 1 train that I think Lionel needs to bring back. Say it with me. Hiawatha. Yes, the Hiawatha 442 passenger set. It's been absent from the catalog since 2006. Far too long. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Anybody who's ever seen this set, it is just jaw-droppingly gorgeous, and they really need to bring this thing back. Now, I suspect one of the major hurdles in bringing this back is the passenger cars, because the Hiawatha passenger cars, as many of you know, have a very unique look and shape to them, and so that might be hard to replicate with the modern 21-inch passenger cars. The original cars were the extruded aluminum version, and so that might be one of the hurdles that they're facing in bringing it back, but they need to get over that hurdle and bring it back. If they do, they'll sell a ton of these things. It's an absolutely gorgeous set. If they bring it back, I'll order one. Everybody else will order one, especially if they do it in Hiawatha and maybe some other fantasy paint schemes. Maybe I'll order more than one. So yeah, Lionel, please bring back the scale Hiawatha passenger set. So there you have it, the top 11 trains that I think Lionel needs to bring back. Will they bring back some of these starting in the 2024 Volume 1 catalog? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Until then, that's it. I'm Eric Siegel. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.